Hey, what's up, guys? This is Donald J. Trump here, President of these United States, possibly the greatest the United States has ever been. I'm not one to judge, but let's be honest, it's better than when we had Obama, okay? So, believe me. But today we're going to be taking a look at a bit of tech news, possibly the greatest tech news in the history of tech news. Basically, there's other tech news, and then we're going to build a wall. And on the other side of this wall, it's going to be this tech news, the best tech news you've ever seen. It's going to be huge, absolutely tremendous. Basically, what I'm saying is it's going to be huge, okay? Believe me. I'm just kidding. I'm not going to do the whole video like that, although I know after a lot of the comments yesterday, some of you would really like it if I did do that. But no, we're not going to be doing that for the whole video, but we are going to be taking a look at some kick-ass tech news. So we've got some information on the GTX 1180 coming out of Tom's Hardware after talking to one of their industry sources. So this is being treated as a rumor, but Tom's Hardware is a pretty reputable outlet compared to some others out there that like to churn the old rumor mill. So we're going to take a look at this and just talk about what's going on right now and the release window that they are saying to expect on the new Turing-based graphics cards from NVIDIA, and also a new monitor coming from Samsung, one of their ridiculous ultra-wide monitors. We're going to just touch on that briefly because I do think it's kind of cool. Pretty impressive specs on that thing. But we're going to start off with the NVIDIA GTX 1180, which according to Tom's Hardware now, we are expecting to see in July after they talked to one of their industry resources. This was Tom's Hardware Germany originally that was reporting on this. So they are saying that we are expecting to see the GTX 1180 and 1170 cards coming out in July. And they don't know 100% yet if it's going to be the 1180 or the 2080, which they kind of talk about in here, but they say it would make more sense to go with the 1180, which I agree with. It would make a lot more sense to go with 1180 because it comes after 10. That's 10 plus 1, that's 11. That's just math. Maybe the greatest math that's ever been mathed before, okay? Believe me. But 2080 would also sound pretty cool, and it would also make it sound like a much more impressive product. So we'll just have to wait and see. But personally, I think it's going to be the GTX 1180. If you agree or disagree, let me know down in the comments below. And of course, as I said, they are saying that these Founders Edition cards will be coming out in July, and then we'll probably see aftermarket cards around August and September. And they also do say in here that the third-party vendors like Asus, MSI, and Gigabyte would probably come a little bit later in that cycle as they have to go through more specific validations from NVIDIA to be approved. But other companies, first-party vendors that work with NVIDIA, like EVGA is probably the most noteworthy one. But you've also got companies like Galax, Zotac, and Colorful, even though Colorful cards mostly only show up in kind of like Asian markets in Europe. We don't really see too many of them in America. You can find them every once in a while, but for the most part, they don't really seem to make their way over here all that much. So that's the window we're pretty much looking at on the 1180 and 1170 cards. They might do the 1160 at a little bit later date. They did that with the 10 series as well, which, if you can believe it or not, that was 2 years ago. I believe it was yesterday was the 2-year anniversary of when the GTX 1080 came out. I remember going and waiting in line at Micro Center to pick up my 1080, and I have a 1080 Ti now, but it's been quite a long time, and honestly, I'm still pretty damn happy with my 1080 Ti, if I'm being honest. There's not a single game that's come out that I can't run, even at ultrawide. I play at 3440 by 1440, and I play every game maxed out, and I get over 60 FPS, and that's really all that I can ask for. But obviously, when these come out, if we're seeing 20 to 30% increase in performance, I'm going to want to have my hands on the latest and greatest tech because that's just the way that I work. But honestly, the 1080 Ti, I feel, could easily last me another year or two with games coming out and probably playing them maxed out unless something comes along that's really super demanding, like maybe Cyberpunk 2077. If that comes out and it's really demands a lot of GPU horsepower, then I'll definitely want to be playing that maxed out. So let me know, are you planning to pick up an 1180? Have you been waiting because of the whole GPU pricing issues that have been going on? Yeah, if you're going to pick one up or not, whatever. Yeah, let me know down in the comments below. Let's discuss. Up next, I did want to just briefly touch on this new Samsung monitor that's going to be coming out. You may have seen this super ultra wide monitor with a 32:9 aspect ratio that's been showing up in the tech press over the past few months as it's already been released out into the wild. I actually got to see one of these at PAX East just briefly. They had it at quite a few of the booths, actually. There were a few of them that I saw there at PAX East, and most of them were playing Far Cry 5 on them. because that was able to take advantage of the 32:9 aspect ratio and fill out the whole display. And it did look pretty impressive, but the only thing that kind of held me back from being excited about that display is that it was still a 1080p monitor. It was 3840 by 1080p. So it was basically the equivalent of having three 1080p monitors side by side, but without any bezels in the middle, which is great if you did want to have three displays wrapped around you and all that, but it's still 1080p. The desktop didn't look good because the icons were still all big and blurry and pixelated to me, as someone that mostly games at 1440 and uses the desktop at 1440 and 4K. But now they're going to be doing a new version, which is going to be 49 inches, just like the previous, but it is going to be, let's see, what's the resolution number here? 5120 by 1440. So that's dual quad HD resolution. So it's going to be 1440p, which is going to be, I feel, much better for a screen that size. I couldn't imagine shelling out the kind of cash that you would need for a 49-inch monitor only to have it be 1080p. It's got to be at least 1440p for me. They are saying that this is only going to be 120 hertz compared to 144 hertz on the previous version, which is fine. 120 hertz is perfectly okay. I can't really tell a difference between 120 and 144. It's you're kind of splitting hairs once you get up to that point. But 100 hertz is good for me. I need 100 to 144. Anywhere in there is going to be perfectly fine. Anything beyond that is really, it doesn't really seem necessary, at least for me, for the type of use cases that I have for it. I mean, obviously, if you're like a competitive Counter-Strike player or something, then yeah. But I guess really the big question going forward is, how is game optimization going to be handled on monitors like this with only seemingly two of them are going to be in the market, both of them from Samsung. It doesn't seem like any of the other monitor manufacturers are really going out there and picking up this and kind of running with it and going with 32:9 displays. But it's really impressive to see in person. I will say that, looking at the game and having it so wide and stretched out and being, well, not stretched. If the game's doing it right, it's not being stretched. It's actually putting additional information on the screen, and it is very impressive to see in person. So I'm happy to see they're doing a 1440p one. I don't think I'm going to go out and buy one of these because they are absolutely massive. But hey, if Samsung wants to send one, then that would be great because they do some really impressive panels. I actually just got one of their 32-inch 1440p 144Hz QLED gaming monitors. It's the C32H G70. I'll leave a link down below over to Amazon. It's $600. It's 144Hz, 1440p, HDR, but the QLED on it is amazing. Like, and the just having the colors in this thing are fantastic. And also, I will say that Samsung's quality control is off the charts, because when I took this thing out of the box, it actually had a color calibration report in the box that, had all the information on it and what tweaks they did to make sure that it was coming, to my door perfectly calibrated and all of that. This was actually provided out by AMD, but it was a sealed box. Like, AMD wasn't inside the box doing any sort of funny business with the calibration. It was evident that this is how they come from Samsung, and they calibrate them so that when you get them and turn them on, they're perfect and ready to go. So yeah, we're going to be doing a review on that soon because it's got FreeSync 2 in there, so we're going to be kind of talking about FreeSync 2 with this monitor, doing a review of it. But so far, it's honestly the best looking display that I've ever seen. As far as just the actual image quality and all of that is concerned, the colors, everything like that is just amazing on this Samsung monitor. So really excited to get working on that review for you guys, coming soon here in the future. But yeah, so that's the reason I'm mentioning it though, is because they're using the same technology in these super ultra wide 32:9 displays. So seeing something like that on a 1440 gigantic ultra wide is pretty damn awesome. So I'm going to go ahead and get on out of here, guys. Please let me know your thoughts down in the comments below on the GTX 1180 touring cards, hopefully coming in July if the rumors are meant to be true, and also the QLED 32:9 super freaking wide gaming displays. I'm pretty sure that's the technical nomenclature for these guys. Are you going to pick one of those up? Are you going to get an 1180? Let's discuss. And if you enjoyed this video or learned something new, don't forget to leave a thumbs up on it down below and subscribe if you're not already, because this might be the greatest tech channel in the history of YouTube. There really aren't any other tech channels, let's be honest. There's me, and then there's everyone else, and it's the greatest. Believe me, okay? I'm going to get out of here now. I got a whole bunch of papers to sign and things to veto and all of that. And I'll catch you guys next time, okay? Believe me. Ta-ra. Okay.